why I want to share my story and the process of moving to Madeira from the UK. I don't know how successful my story is going to be because I'm in the middle of it. I hope it's going to be a happy end, but we don't know. I feel it's a useful video for someone to watch because it doesn't just show you the happy end when things work out fantastically well and you're happy. It's just showing you the way things are when you start thinking of moving, from the point that when you start thinking of moving to the point where you moved, which is, again, I don't know if it's going to be the point where I moved. I feel it might be a few videos needed to explain the process of making this decision and making the actual steps. And I feel I want to start from the point how I even started to entertain that idea. So I think this video is going to be mainly explaining how I got to the point of thinking about moving. It's all started from a random video on YouTube where somebody casually mentioned Madeira Island. Never heard of it before, obviously never been to Portugal before, but somehow it's resonated with me. That was around October, November last year, 2023. And it was very bad timing if you think from practical point of view. First of all, we are going into winter. Secondly, literally a few weeks beforehand, I had the precious little granddaughter, my first, sweetest girl, which means that nothing actually pointed out to make this decision. So I heard it from a random person on YouTube, casually mentioned Madeira Island, and little did I know that I was searching, looking for flights, if there are flights from Manchester. I live in northwest, Manchester is the closest airport. And there were some flights, and because we were into autumn winter, the flights were cheap. So I booked myself 2 or 3 days trip, going from Manchester to Funchal, which is the capital of Madeira. Booked myself the cheapest hotel. I travel light, so packed a little rucksack, put a swimming suit, which I barely could fit into, and off I went. What did I do in Madeira? I stayed in Funchal, very central. It was quieter because it's winter. The weather was fantastic, t-shirts and flip-flops. I went to one beach, and there are a few apparently, which is yet for me to visit. And I walked around town centre. That's all I did. Did I venture out on any fabulous scenery? No, I did not. And right before I went back, the evening before I went back, I stood on the street looking at the map, trying to figure out the direction, which I'm terrible with. And then a random stranger approached me to say, "Oh, you look confused," trying to help, local. And we started chatting, and I kind of thrown at him my thoughts, which at that point I didn't know I had. What I did say is, it feels right. It feels right. I am entertaining the idea that I may live here. Whether I was the first one feeling that way, maybe there were other people, tourists or, foreigners who felt that way. I don't know. But the response was, ah, you're falling in love with the island. And I think that's all it was. Did you know the island that I'm falling in love with? No. Did I make a decision then and there? Deep inside, I probably did. So we had a few minutes chat, and I kept asking questions which I didn't dare to ask myself. So what people do here? Do people move here? It's too good to be true. So must be some people entertaining this idea. So that person, he said, well, yeah, people buy or rent, but everybody is different. And I have a nephew who is a estate agent. So if you want to seek piece of advice or what the prices are, you can call him. So he called his nephew, asked for the permission to share the number. He agreed. So I got the number for the estate agent who I never met before. And right before I went back to my hotel, that guy said, just in case, I think he was in the middle of it, whether to do it or not, because locals are reserved for the right good reasons. There are too many tourists. You have to keep your privacy and your own identity to yourself. That's what you want to do, just to preserve it. So anyway, last minute before I went, he said, just in case, take my number as well. Yeah, okay. So I took the number. A lovely person, so easy to talk to, very warm and giving and helpful. So I took 2 numbers and off I went to my hotel, and then the morning after I flew back to Manchester.